The development of Islam in Russia, especially during the month of Ramadan, reflects a unique dynamic between religious traditions, history, and the social-political context of the country. Islam is one of the largest religions in Russia, with the majority of its followers coming from ethnic groups such as Tatars, Bashkirs, Chechens, and Dagestanis, spread across various regions of the country. Ramadan is a highly respected month for Muslims in Russia, as it is around the world. During Ramadan, Russian Muslims fast from dawn until sunset, following the teachings outlined in the Qur'an. Fasting is not only a form of self-discipline but also a means to strengthen the relationship with Allah and enhance social solidarity. Mosques in Russia play an important role during Ramadan. Many mosques in large cities like Moscow, Kazan, and Ufa hold special events such as religious studies, iftar, breaking fast, gatherings, and terawih prayers, night prayers during Ramadan. Although the number of mosques in Russia increased after the collapse of the Soviet Union, challenges remain, particularly in regions that are far from the centers of Islamic power in Russia. In addition, the Muslim community in Russia often holds social and charitable events during Ramadan. Iftar gatherings that involve various segments of society, including non-Muslims, provide an opportunity to introduce Islam in a peaceful and inclusive manner. During Ramadan, religious activities in Russia typically increase. Many Muslims visit mosques more frequently to perform congregational prayers, attend religious lectures, and discuss Islamic values. Additionally, a large number of Muslims participate in charitable activities, such as providing food to those in need, especially during the iftar time. Some Muslim groups in Russia also engage in social aid programs during Ramadan. These programs include distributing iftar meals to the poor and providing assistance to orphans and the underprivileged. Local Muslim organizations often cooperate with charitable bodies to organize these social activities. Although Islam has a long history in Russia, Muslims in Russia face various challenges, especially related to social and political discrimination. Some regions of Russia, particularly in the North Caucasus and Tatarstan, have a significant Muslim population. However, there is also tension between the Muslim community and certain non-Muslim segments of society, sometimes influenced by stereotypes and misunderstanding of Islam. During Ramadan, additional challenges arise, particularly related to religious freedom. While freedom of religion is guaranteed by the Russian constitution, in practice, there are restrictions on certain religious activities. The Russian government sometimes enforces strict regulations on religious organizations, including those related to Islam. As a result, Muslims in Russia often have to adapt to a complex political situation, especially when practicing Ramadan openly. During Ramadan, interfaith relations in Russia often highlight the positive aspects of religious harmony. Many non-Muslim residents of Russia express solidarity with Muslims by wishing them a blessed fast or even sharing iftar together. This reflects a desire to understand and appreciate the diversity that exists in Russia. With the development of technology, Muslims in Russia also use various digital platforms to deepen their religious knowledge, including studies related to the month of Ramadan. Many websites, apps, and social media are utilized by Muslims to enhance their understanding of Ramadan and practice fasting, despite some challenges related to freedom of expression in the online world in Russia. The development of Islam in Russia, especially during the month of Ramadan, demonstrates a dynamic and challenging process. Despite facing various social and political difficulties, Muslims in Russia continue to practice their faith with great enthusiasm, strengthening social solidarity and introducing Islamic values to the broader society. Ramadan becomes an important moment to strengthen interfaith relationships and serves as a means to enhance understanding and tolerance amidst the diversity in Russia. The life of Muslims living alongside Christians reflects the diversity found in many places around the world, especially in countries with multi-religious societies. In many areas, the relationship between Muslims and Christians can proceed peacefully, although certain challenges may affect the social dynamics. In general, the coexistence of Muslims and Christians often reflects values of tolerance, mutual respect, and efforts to maintain harmony despite differences in belief. In many countries, particularly those with a long history of interfaith interaction, Muslims and Christians can live together respectfully. Religious tolerance teaches people to respect the beliefs of others, even if they may have different worldviews. This tolerance applies not only on a personal level but also on social and cultural levels. For example, Muslims and Christians often participate in social activities together, such as celebrating religious holidays, charity work, or helping those in need without regard to religion. In some societies, there is a tradition of exchanging greetings during each other's religious celebrations. The long history of interaction between Islam and Christianity, both peaceful and conflict-filled, has shaped their coexistence in many regions. In some places, like Indonesia, Egypt, or Lebanon, Islam and Christianity have coexisted for centuries. Despite tensions or conflicts in history, many communities in these countries have succeeded in creating space for mutual respect and peaceful coexistence in pluralistic societies. Education plays an essential role in creating peaceful coexistence between Muslims and Christians. In many places, schools and universities with diverse religious backgrounds teach values of tolerance and diversity from an early age. This helps reduce prejudice and increase mutual understanding. Schools that include lessons about the world's religions, including the histories of Islam and Christianity, can help reduce tensions and misunderstandings between the two faiths. For example, in some multi-religious schools in Lebanon or Turkey, students from different religious backgrounds learn to understand and respect each other's faiths, fostering mutual understanding. In many places, Muslims and Christians work together in various social activities, especially in humanitarian and charitable fields. For instance, they might collaborate in non-profit organizations or humanitarian projects to help the poor, orphans, or victims of natural disasters, regardless of their religion. Activities like these strengthen interfaith relationships and demonstrate that humanity is more important than religious differences. Many organizations also focus on interfaith dialogue, aiming to bring together Muslims and Christians, as well as other religions, to discuss shared values and ways to live together peacefully. In such places, both groups can learn from each other and deepen their understanding. In regions with large multi-religious communities, churches and mosques often work together to organize events that strengthen interfaith relationships, such as food-sharing activities or discussion events aimed at building peace. Although there are many examples of peaceful coexistence, it cannot be denied that there are challenges in the relationship between Muslims and Christians. Tensions can arise due to differences in beliefs, cultural differences, or even political factors. In some regions, these tensions can escalate into open conflict. In some countries, for example, tensions between Muslims and Christians arise as a result of identity politics or broader issues related to social and economic inequality. However, despite this, many religious leaders and community figures from both sides are working to ease these tensions through dialogue and efforts to foster interfaith understanding. Religious leaders play a very important role in maintaining peace and harmony among religious communities. In the context of coexistence between Muslims and Christians, religious leaders from both sides often play a crucial role in promoting interfaith dialogue and emphasizing the importance of mutual respect. Religious leaders are often involved in efforts to reduce tensions and strengthen solidarity within communities. They can also help educate their followers about the importance of tolerance and understanding religious differences in a peaceful manner. Coexistence between Muslims and Christians is a continuous challenge, but it is also an opportunity to show that religious differences do not have to hinder unity and peace. Through education, social cooperation, and interfaith dialogue, many Muslim and Christian communities around the world have succeeded in creating peaceful coexistence. Of course, this is not without challenges, but with a commitment to mutual understanding and respect, followers of both religions can continue to live together in harmony. Muslims in the workplace face various unique challenges and opportunities related to their religious practices, work ethics, and social dynamics. As religious diversity increases in many workplaces, it is important to create an inclusive and tolerant environment for Muslim employees, allowing them to fulfill their religious obligations while still contributing effectively at work. One of the main challenges for Muslims at work is prayer times. The 5 obligatory daily prayers that Muslims perform throughout the day, including Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha, sometimes coincide with work hours. Therefore, Muslims at work may need a break to perform their prayers, which can be challenging if the company does not provide adequate facilities. During the month of Ramadan, Muslims fast from dawn until sunset. This can affect productivity at work, especially if the job requires high concentration or physical energy. Some companies that may not understand Ramadan practices might not offer accommodations for Muslim employees, so special arrangements such as flexible hours or longer breaks may be needed. Many Muslim women choose to wear the hijab as part of their religious identity. In some workplaces, this may be a challenge if there is no policy supporting diversity or if the workplace culture is not inclusive. In some cases, this can lead to discrimination or discomfort for individuals who wear clothing in accordance with their religious teachings. Food choices at work are often an issue for Muslim employees. They may have difficulty finding halal food that aligns with their religious teachings. If a company does not offer halal food options in the cafeteria or at company events, it can be a challenge for Muslims who want to maintain a diet consistent with their beliefs. Many companies are beginning to understand the needs of Muslim employees to perform prayers. They may provide prayer spaces or offer flexible time for Muslim employees who wish to pray at work. Some companies offer additional break time or special permission for prayers, especially during Dur or Asr when they coincide with working hours. During the month of Ramadan, some companies offer more flexible policies, such as reducing working hours or adjusting work schedules to allow Muslim employees to observe fasting more comfortably. Some companies also host iftar gatherings, which not only provide an opportunity for Muslims to break their fast but also serve as a moment to build relationships among employees from various religious backgrounds. Companies that care about the well-being of their Muslim employees may provide halal food options in the cafeteria or at company events. This demonstrates that the company values religious diversity and strives to meet the dietary needs of Muslim employees. Additionally, introducing non-Muslim employees to the concept of halal food can be a good way to enhance understanding and tolerance in the workplace. In some workplaces, the clothing worn by Muslims, particularly the hijab, can be a sensitive topic. However, many companies have adopted inclusive policies that allow employees to wear clothing in accordance with their religious beliefs, including the hijab, as long as the attire meets the company's professional standards. This creates a more open work environment that embraces diversity. Many teachings in Islam emphasize discipline, responsibility, and honesty. Muslim employees in the workplace typically place a high value on these work ethics and strive to adhere to them. Professionalism, punctuality, and responsibility are part of the values upheld by most Muslims. Some Muslims in the workplace may face discrimination or prejudice related to their religion. Therefore, companies and organizations need to create policies that promote diversity and inclusivity. Educating employees about other religions and conducting training on cultural and religious diversity can help reduce tensions and increase understanding. On the other hand, many Muslims also need to adapt to a work environment that may not always understand or accept their religious practices. This requires an open attitude and clear communication from both parties to create a more inclusive and harmonious work environment. Diversity in the workplace, including religious diversity, can be a great advantage for companies. Employees from different religious backgrounds bring unique perspectives and can enrich the company culture. Working with people from diverse religious backgrounds can foster creativity, improve cross-cultural communication, and create a more inclusive atmosphere. Therefore, companies that support diversity often benefit from increased employee morale, job satisfaction, and productivity. Muslims in the workplace face various challenges related to their religious practices, but there are many opportunities to create an inclusive and supportive work environment. By providing prayer time flexibility, offering halal food, supporting diverse clothing, and emphasizing values of integrity and teamwork, companies can help Muslim employees fulfill their religious obligations without diminishing their contributions at work. On the other hand, a work environment that values religious diversity can also offer benefits in terms of creativity, productivity, and team collaboration.